Chris, do you do everything in your business? Tell us about, well, first of all, there were two things that provoked. Tell us a little about how you entered the world of entrepreneurship and what the business is doing just now and who does what.
Right. I was studying mechanical engineering at university, and a 5-year course with a year out in the placement in between. And I really wanted to go off and work for a really big multinational and do something good, but I'd always wanted to set up my own business since I'd been a kid. And I went off to work for an oil company, a young lad, not really quite sure what to do. And it was a really professional company. They threw me in the deep end. And at the end of the year, I'd done very, very well and thought, do you know what, if I can go into Shell and do this well, I'll go and set up my own company. And Shell offered us a job after uni, loads and loads of money doing exactly what I'd wanted to do. But I thought, if I choose the Shell job, I'm also choosing not to set up my business. And then I'm choosing to give away my dream, like you said before, how much they're going to pay me to sacrifice my dream. And I thought, I'm just going to take it and take the risk. Went off, did my final year at uni, and during that year I'd been identified as being dyslexic. And there's a government program to support dyslexics at higher education. And a woman leaned across the desk and gave us a check for $2.5 grand and said, can you spend it with this company over here? And the company was based in Manchester. So I just said, why am I going to Manchester? Is there no one local to do this? And she said, no. And I thought, brilliant. So how many times do you do this a day? And she did it 5 times a week. So simple sums, 10 grand a week, and you've got to spend it with a certain company. So I just said, if I set up my company, a company that does it, will you use me? And she said, it's not as easy as that. You've got to get government regulation and licensing and things like that. And I went off and did it. I went back and started talking to a lot of the potential customers saying, this is what I'm thinking about doing. How do you like to work with suppliers? And they all told us exactly what they wanted from a company. Right down to the way that they wanted to supply, the way they wanted communication, the way they wanted quotes and tenders and things like that. And I wrote a list of everything that each potential client wanted, how difficult it would be to serve, how much it was going to cost, what my potential profit was. And then the one that I made the most profit from, I went and targeted first. And because I had talked to them and found out exactly what they wanted, I could develop my business in a way that was perfect for them. So they gave us a 3-month trial. And then after that, we became preferred suppliers after 6 months. So I went to another, the second one on that list, did the same thing, and then the third one on the list and did the same thing. And now we've been going 4 years. So we developed, initially we were an IT company specializing in developing systems to support disabled people. I concentrated on just the software and the hardware. And as part of the government contract, I had to have a training company, which I used to outsource. And I didn't feel the training company was doing the job that was as good as my side of the company was. So I sat down and told him he needed to change. He didn't want to change, so I got rid of him and brought the training in-house. So we now have the two business models or product streams, the equipment supply and the training and support divisions.
Who does what in your business?
I do the selling and the...
Because?
I enjoy it.
Out of 100?
I'd be on 90, I think.
Okay. And who does the other things?
I have a woman that controls the accounts because I'm totally unorganized and I find it pretty boring. But I like looking at the number on the bottom right-hand side.
Does she like doing them?
She loves doing it.
Does she not think that she's superior to you in all ways because she's so good at these figures?
She's a woman.
Yeah.
The event today is called Chance for Change. And the aim of it is just to encourage people to consider setting up your own business, being an entrepreneur, as an opportunity. It's especially nowadays with the climate. I know a lot of people have been, we were just talking about morale, just dropped down a little bit. And this is just to demonstrate that it is possible. There's people out there that have gone and done it, and it could be you next. I don't come from an entrepreneurial background. My mother's a school teacher, and my dad sells hydraulics. So was I born an entrepreneur? Probably not. I think life just shapes you the way you want to be shaped. I think one of the things that I'd possibly be good to put on show is that you don't need a business background to go up and set up a business. You don't need real huge business experience to go up and set up a business. I was fresh out of university and set up the business, and I didn't have any business background. In fact, I knew one thing about business, and it turned out that that was wrong. So I think anybody can go and do it. That's really what I want to present today, that anybody can go and do it.
Nikki? Who does what in your business?
I actually bought one of my members of staff a mug for Christmas that says, I love spreadsheets. She absolutely loves spreadsheets. I hate strategy, finance, spreadsheets, writing reports. I can tell you till the cows come home what I want to do, but ask me to write a report. But can I say, the business has been going for 8 years and I'm really proud. I've just written my first business plan.
Now that, David, passion. Do you love what you're doing?
Yes.
Could you do
Greatly
it without
so.
it?
Could I live without what I do?
Yes. Could you do what you're doing without passion?
I got out of bed at 5 o'clock this morning. You got to do something to repeatedly do that. It's hard work, and you kind of like the alarm goes and you kind of glance across and you think, oh, bloody hell. But you shift because you like. I went down to Yorkshire today into a school. We produce products now for schools, and it was a selling thing, and I don't particularly like selling. It's not my forte. And going in to sell enterprise products into schools, as you're aware, can sometimes be pretty tricky. But we've got a product, the Enterprise Catalyst, that I was selling, and we're increasingly promoting it all around the country. I went in today into a potentially kind of tricky audience, and as soon as there was one of the teachers in the room, she actually saw that, are you the guy behind the Enterprise Catalyst? I use that with my kids, it's brilliant. The rest of the teachers were just on board immediately, and that's what fires me. It's that kind of feedback. When someone says that to you, that's what drives that passion and energy.